So here's a bit more detail on another example for a map, right? Here's a bunch of commands that build this particular map. Here's the visualization of the map. It is a string to string map. Let's see. Right? Getting B1 returns Bob because that's the binding we set up, right? Bill here is a value. So this is all stuff we looked at in the previous video. You could use this to create an index of words like this. So you know what? Actually, we're going to show you how to do it with my own examples because honestly, this isn't a great example. So let's go ahead and create a new example here. So we have our how to set. So obviously that means we are going to have a how to map. Okay. How to map. And this is going to be one that I've given on an exam like a bunch of times. We're going to write a method that uses a map. Specifically, basically, I want to know, or something that's similar to this. Yeah, given it's actually a simplified version of this. So let's go with our second use for maps, which is the, let's see, my second use for map, which is counting. So public static car most common car given a string text. I would like to look up and figure out what is the most common character. Okay, what is the most common character in there? Now, if we were to do this normally, this is actually a pain in the butt without a map. And this is a couple reasons. The first reason is that basically you don't really have a good data structure for it. I mean, you could make an array, int counts like this. And then the size of the array is equal to 100 and is equal to new int 128. And to figure out what the most common character is in that, what we would do is that basically we'd say for, and this is not intuitive unless you've done it before. I'm going to deliberately make it as annoying to read as possible. For int I equals 0. I is less than text.length, I++. Okay. And then we would want to do counts. Then what goes in the index, but we would increment it, and it would be text.get or text.car at I minus text.car at that plus 0. Yeah, that works. And hopefully probably at this point you might be going, what? Wait, huh? And the reason for that is because you might be asking what I'm doing, right? When you start using plus signs like this, it kind of gets painful. So what I'm doing is basically I'm taking each character in this 128 character array, because most characters are 128, but this will completely fail if we have Unicode here. And basically we're getting the character, adding 0 to this to turn it into its ASCII value. Again, ASCII goes only up to 127, so if we're using Unicode, this will completely go out of bounds. And then, so for instance, A is the number 97, and then basically we're using the index or the value at that index 97 to figure out what's there. And then I basically say which one, and then to figure out which one has the most, it goes something like this. And you can skip past this, by the way. You can probably skip past this video if you don't want to see what's going to go on here, and go on to the next one because I'll make it in a separate video. So this is the hard way. So for int index for int letter equals 0, letter is less than 128, our magic number there. Letter plus plus. Right. So 4. Okay. Most count equals 0. Been doing too much Python. Int most letter. Car most letter. But I repeat myself. Car ints. Just a different way of looking at the same data. Okay. Most letter. Most count. Okay. So for every letter, int letter is equal to 0. Count is equal to int count is equal to counts letter. You know, I don't need to do this, but at this point I just couldn't stop. Counts letter, get the count. Also notice the lack of any explanation I'm giving to this. It is very annoying to do, and really you can only do it if you know what you're doing, which is kind of paradoxical. How do you learn then? Okay, counts letter, get the count for that particular letter, which is a number, right? Okay, and get the car, this letter, yeah, is equal to car. Actually, can I do it like this? Car letter is equal to 0? Sure, why not? count letter. Okay, if letter. Yeah. If, and then finally, if count is greater than most count. We know this is coming up here. Then most count is equal to piece of fuzz. Most count is equal to count. Most letter letter is equal to letter. Return most letter. Right, so that's kind of a nightmare, but it should work. Sout, most common string, most common character. Hello, my name is Mud. Okay. And this will print out possibly a space. Probably. Spaces are always super common. Yeah, printed out space. So space 1, 2, 3, 4. Mud. M. There you go. So it works.